All right, so you've built your reports in Power BI, you've crunched the numbers, and hey, your dashboards look pretty sharp. But what's next? Today, we're going to talk about leveling up. Going from just building reports to managing your data like a true enterprise level pro. It's time to make your data do more than just work. It's time to make it shine. So let me just ask you point blank. Are you totally confident in your data right now? Or does this question maybe hit a little too close to home? Look, these are the classic growing pains that every single Power BI user runs into. Stale data, it kills good decisions. Insecure data, that's a massive risk. And slow data, well, it just drives everyone crazy. In this explainer, we're going to tackle all three head on. And this quote, it absolutely nails the problem. It's not just about having data. It's about having the right data at the right time. Old data isn't just worthless. It can actually be dangerous, leading to bad calls and totally missed opportunities. So the real question is, how do we stop that from happening? Okay, let's get into our first big challenge, keeping that data fresh. Honestly, you should think of it like the heartbeat of your reports. Without that steady, reliable pulse of new information, your insights are just going to flatline. So how do we set up that life-giving rhythm? Well, it pretty much all comes down to one thing. Where does your data actually live? If your data is already up in the cloud, things are pretty straightforward. You just use the scheduled refresh feature right inside Power BI services and set it and forget it. But what if your data is on-prem, sitting on a local server in your office? Then you need a bridge to get it to the cloud. And that's exactly what a data gateway is. It's a secure tunnel that lets Power BI services reach in and refresh your local data. Now, if you do need a gateway, you've got two main flavors to choose from. Standard mode, that's the workhorse. It's built for teams, it's shareable, and it plays nice with the whole Power Platform. Personal mode, on the other hand, is pretty much what it sounds like. It's just for you, a single user connecting only to Power BI. It's perfect if you're the only one managing the data refresh. Okay, so you've got your schedule all sorted out. Great. But what happens when your data set isn't some little speedboat you can just zip around? What if it's a giant cargo ship? Trying to do a full refresh on a massive data set can take ages, it hogs all your resources, and frankly, it's way more likely to fail. There's gotta be a better way, right? And there is. It's called incremental refresh. Instead of reloading the entire massive data set every single time, you just tell Power BI, hey, only grab the stuff that's new or that's changed. This is an absolute game changer for large data sets. Your refreshes become so much faster, way more reliable, and they use a tiny fraction of the resources. It's like the difference between renovating your entire house or just, painting the new guest room. So how do you actually do it? Well, from a high level, it's basically a three-step mission you set up in Power BI Desktop. First, you create two very specific case-sensitive parameters, range start and range end. Second, you use those parameters to filter the date column on the big table you want to refresh. And finally, right before you publish, you go into the settings for that table and define the policy, telling Power BI something like, okay, always refresh the last 7 days of data, but store the last 5 years. Right, so our data is fresh, but is it secure? Because your organization's data isn't just a spreadsheet, it's the crown jewels. And those jewels need a fortress to keep them safe, to make sure they don't fall into the wrong hands. I mean, this quote really says it all. The second you publish a report to Power BI service, you've put it on the internet. And now you have a serious responsibility to control who sees what. One-size-fits-all access, it just doesn't fly in the real world. Different roles need to see different slices of the pie. The tool for this job is row-level security, or RLS. And the idea behind it is simple, but it's incredibly powerful. You build one report based on one data set, but RLS automatically filters the view for each person. So the sales manager in California, she only sees California data. The manager in New York, he only sees New York data. But get this, they are looking at the exact same report. It's so elegant and super efficient. Setting it up is basically a two-part mission. Part one happens on your computer in Power BI Desktop. This is where you're the architect. You create your roles like, say, regional manager, and then you write the rules for that role with a little bit of DAX code. Part two happens after you publish in Power BI Service. That's where you assign your actual coworkers and security groups to the roles you just built. So think of it this way. desktop is for the blueprint, the service is for the people. Okay, so your data is fresh and it's secure. That's fantastic. But there's still one more hurdle. In a big company, how do people even find your amazing data set? And more importantly, how do they know they can trust it? It's time to turn your hidden gem into the organization's gold standard. And this is so critical if you want to build a real data culture. I mean, think about it. An analyst who needs sales data shouldn't have to guess which of the 20 different sales data sets is the one they're supposed to use. You need a way to put up a big sign that says, hey, this is the one you can trust. Power BI gives you these things called endorsements to do just that. Think of promoted as a thumbs up. It's you, the creator, saying, hey, this is good stuff. It's solid. Feel free to use it. It's all about encouraging people to reuse your work. But certified, oh, that's the holy grail. That's the official seal of approval. It's so important that only a few designated people in the organization can even grant it. It tells everyone, this isn't just good data. This is the single source of truth. This is the data you can bet your job on. And you can put these endorsements on more than just data sets. You can endorse data flows, reports, and even entire apps, building out this whole ecosystem of trusted analytics for everyone. Now, for our last piece of the puzzle, let's talk about scale. What happens when your good little data set becomes a truly great one, a massive one? We're talking about entering big data territory, where the normal rules and limits just don't apply anymore. See, there used to be a pretty firm cap on data set size, but in the world we live in today, blowing past 10 gigabytes for a single dataset, that's becoming a pretty common thing for big companies. When you hit that kind of scale, you need a solution that can actually grow with you. And that solution is a feature in Power BI Premium called the Large Dataset Storage Format. It does pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It lets your dataset grow way, way beyond that old 10 gigabyte limit. It's just a simple toggle switch in the settings, but flipping it on unlocks true enterprise-level scale and can even speed up certain operations. It's how Power BI handles real-deal big data. So when we put all this together, freshness, security, discoverability, and scale, you've really transformed what you do. You've gone way beyond just building some reports. You're no longer just a data expert. You're a data guardian. You're the one who makes sure the organization's most valuable asset is always fresh, totally safe, easy to find and trust, and ready to scale. You are the curator and the protector of data integrity, and that empowers everyone around you to make better, faster decisions with complete confidence. You now have the keys to the kingdom, the tools to get your data ready for prime time. So the only question left is, are you? Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.